This is a song about touch, and Fred Small wrote it from Massachusetts. And initially, it was about an adult, and it was based on a true story of a social worker who liked to hug everybody, and he got in trouble for it because it wasn't professional. But he also wrote a version for children. And in case I don't see any young people here tonight, but I see a lot of us older people with young hearts, so we're going to just do this. All right, so here's how it goes. Oh, I got to put you on gallery because I want to see you doing this. All right, so the song goes, I want a hug when we say hello. I want a hug when it's time to go. I want a hug because I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. I want a hug. What a wonderful feeling. What a hug. To see you, feel you squeeze, and what a hug. It certainly seems like the natural thing to do. Pretty catchy, eh? That Fred Small, he knows how to write a tune. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot you can do with this song. First of all, when I sing, I want a hug, you get to sing back, and I mean like loud because I know how much you want a hug. You echo, I want a hug. All right, so let's just practice that. 1, 2, 3, I start. I want a hug. I want a hug. You got to be fast, right? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I want a hug. When we say hello, I want a hug. When it's time to go, I want a hug. 'Cause I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you, and so on. So you get that part, right? Okay, but there's more. Is anybody here with another person in the room with them? Ah, we're really showing our age, aren't we?
No, 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 you have somebody. Ariel down there.
I see Cynthia
Oh.
and Ariel too. Oh, and oh, we have a child. Hooray, hooray. Hi, hi there. Okay, so if you are with somebody, feel free to throw your arms around each other because you don't have to socially distance because you're already in the same house. Every time I sing, I want a hug. And you can sing and hug at the same time. Now, if you are not with someone, do not despair because this feels better than you would ever know. This is one of those hugs that's like before COVID, this was like, oh, come on. And now it's like, oh, I love this. You know, we take what we can get, right? So please sing and hug in one form or another. Here we go. I want a hug. When we say hello, I want a hug. When it's time to go, I want a hug. Yes, I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. I want a hug, just to feel you squeeze. I want a hug. What a wonderful feel. I want a hug. It certainly seems like a natural thing to do. You got it. You all are pros. Now, when I was a little bitty baby child, my mama used to hold me tight. My daddy used to come and pick me up when I got scared at night. Well, the years have passed, I've grown so fast. Mostly I feel strong, but timid or bold, I'm never too old to sing this happy song. Here we go. I want a hug when it's time to go. I want a hug when we say hello. I want a hug, 'cause I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. You're good. I want a hug. What a wonderful feeling. I want a hug, just to feel you squeeze. I want a hug. It certainly seems like the natural thing to do. Now, some folks don't like hugging. They think that they're too tough. I bet they'd be a whole lot friendlier if they just hugged enough. When you hug the ones who love you, an amazing thing you learn. When you give a hug, you just can't help but get one in return. That's right, I want a hug. When we say hello, I want a hug. I want a hug. When it's to go, I want a hug. I want a hug. I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. Let's go. I want a hug. I want a hug just to feel you squeeze. I want a hug. I want a hug. What a wonderful feeling. Hug. It certainly seems like the natural thing to do. I hope I don't run out of breath on this song. Ah. Now sometimes grown-ups are grouchy and they put the blame on you. Sometimes you make just a little mistake, though you did the best you could do. And sometimes love is everywhere. It's a beautiful day, and every time is the perfect time to open your arms and say what? I want a hug, I want a hug. We say hello. I want a hug, I want a hug. When it's time to go, I want a hug, I want a hug. I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. That's right. I want a hug, I want a hug. Feel you squeeze. I want a hug, I want a hug. It's a wonderful feat. I want a hug, I want a hug. It certainly seems like the natural thing to do, you know. So I can't let well enough alone. So I had to write a new verse for this, for the particular time that we are living in. Here it goes. Now, some men are the president or a general starting a war. I can't help but wonder what they'd be like if they'd been hugged much more. So come on, men, come on, boys, don't hide your gentle face. Give each other a great big hug, make the world a better place. I want a hug when we say hello. I want a hug when it's time to go. I want a hug, 'cause I want you to know I'm awfully fond of you. I want a hug, I want a hug. Feel you squeeze, I want a hug. Yeah, what a wonderful feeling, I want a hug. 'Cause it certainly seems like the natural thing to do. Sing that with me. I want a hug, 'cause it certainly seems like the natural thing to do. Yeah. Woo! Oh man. Okay. That'll keep me going for a while. That was fun. So, thanks everybody. You absolutely got into the participation on that. I saw no hesitations. So, as long as we're on the theme of touch and hug, and you've all got some beautiful object that you're holding on to of some sort, I want to just take a minute after that highly energetic song to actually go into a little quieter mode for a minute, and then we'll do another song. And this is great for young people for any age. And let's start actually by just holding your object, whatever it is, in your hand, on your lap. If you're with a person, you can hold that person if they're small on your lap. If they're big, they could hold you on their lap. That's one I love sitting on my son's lap. Or you can sit in some way touching each other's hands, holding hands, one hand or two hands. So all of us are touching something right now. And I want to invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, or kind of focus down and kind of let your eyes get soft. Don't be too focused. And just put all of your awareness into your hands or whatever is touching the thing that you brought. And just feel it, explore it with your fingers with a sense of not really knowing what it is. Imagine beginner's mind. Somebody asks you to close your eyes and just put this object in your hand. You don't know what it is, but you're feeling it. Your fingertips are sensitive. They can learn a lot. They're very knowledgeable about touch. And notice any senses of just pleasure or curiosity or just, wow, I like how that feels. If you're holding someone's hand, you can each take one of the other person's hand, and maybe you can actually hold it out flat and just look at it. Go ahead and open your eyes if you like. In fact, everyone, just open your eyes now and look at your object. Again, as if you'd never seen it before. And with hands, just look at that hand. Look at the creases in it, the different colors. It's not all one color usually. Maybe some wrinkles, maybe not. Whatever you are getting to know, just give it a minute. Give it some space to show itself to you. And take a couple of deep breaths and just kind of savor. This is kind of about savoring and appreciating. We're not going out into the world for our usual entertainments and stimulations and new sights and new flavors and smells. We're pretty much here with our homebound home household. And so I think that a beautiful choice is to savor what is right here with us and see it in a new way. When I go out on a walk around my neighborhood, I live in a city neighborhood, but there's lots of trees actually, and there's lots of bushes and hedges. I've noticed ever since COVID started that I've started reaching out and touching things. Have any of you noticed that? You go by a bush and you just kind of want to run your hand over it. I have a neighbor who has a tree. It's kind of like a weeping willow, and it just droops down in these beautiful strings of leaves. And as I go by, I just run my hand under it like a kid, you know. And you've seen kids running through fields with their arms outstretched, just touching the tops of the grasses. So I think we need to be touch detectives or touch scavenger hunters. And when we do go out of the house, to really notice the touch that is there for us. Of course, gardening, hands in the soil, can't go wrong with that either. So last little moment, just take your two hands, those beautiful sensitive hands, knowing that they're very, very sensitive, and they interface with our world in so many ways. And just touch your own face. And close your eyes if you want. Just and pat, just kind of move them around, touch your temples, your forehead, maybe your eyelids, your lips. Just feeling the flower that you are, this delicate, sensitive petal. Hmm. Hmm. And then we're going to continue to put those hands to use in the next song. So, this song is made of 8 words. I don't remember where I learned it, but I've sung it with children all over the world in multiple languages, and it's just one of my faves. There are 8 signs. The first sign is earth, and you're going to just hold your arms out for a moment and then bring it together into like a holding of the earth, right? So like a little ball. Okay, that's earth. The next word is wind, and then fire. Make the flames go up. Fire. And then C. This one's a little tricky. You make kind of like this sign. It's a little bit like S in sign language. Start at your shoulders and then make waves coming out from your shoulders. That's it. So let's do that again. Earth, wind, fire, sea. Life is L's, 2 L's. And then you put the L's about at your belly and you draw them up across your chest. It's sort of the breath of life coming up from below and coming through you. So that's life. Good. And then love is very easy. We've already warmed up doing this. And then you, just pointing out to us, me. And the way these words go together, just do the signs with me and I'll sing it. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me, and then sing as you like. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life. I'm sorry, oh, I did that wrong. Sorry. Life, love, you, me. And what I say to children is the first 4 obviously are the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and sea. Earth, air, fire, water. So that's 4 things that we have that make our world. But it doesn't stop there, because that would be just a barren planet if that was all there was. So the next 4 are what make our world a beautiful place to live in, and they are life, love, you, and me. So that's the 8 words that I think make a world. So Let's see if you can keep the hands going while I play guitar and we sing it together. It goes like this. And you'll recognize Paco Belcannon when I start playing the guitar. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me. Beautiful. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me. Now, we'll do it two more times to give you a chance to dance. Not that you have to, but can you just feel how these arm thing just kind of wants to get into your shoulders and it kind of wants to get into your hips? And so even in your chair, just dance this song. And if you want to stand up and dance it, go for it. Here we go. Earth, wind, fire, sea, life, love, you, me. Earth, wind and fire and sea, life, love, you, me. Oh, earth, wind, fire, and sea, love, you, me. And last time, and we're doing this now for each other silently, just giving each other with our bodies this message of love and wholeness. Here we go. Hmm. Wow. Well,
Is that Paco Bell Cannon?
that is Paco Belcannon. Exactly right. Yes. I hope you enjoyed
Good.
that. I just think that's a wonderful little piece. Great. Okay. So, before we go on any further, I'd like to take a minute to just mention a couple of things that I know we're all really aware of that are going on in our world. And, in these evenings with you, I really want to find a balance of refuge and renewal. And, oh, and my lamp has a way my lamp has a bad connection, of a kind of refuge and a kind of going back to the sources and refreshing ourselves and laughing and playing and crying and all of that. It's so important. I know how much we need that. And at the same time, I know that we bring a lot of the world with us. I was leading a meditation group this morning, and one of the beloved members said, I just couldn't settle down today. The world is just hammering at my brain. I'm so upset about this with Trump and that with whatever. And yeah, I mean, how many of you can relate to that? It's, so I want to just bring in two important things that are important to me this week and hold them together. And one of them is the death of the wonderful civil rights leader John Lewis. I think it's always important to say the names, and he is one of the names. He, as you know, marched on the Edmund Pettus Bridge in 1965 with Martin Luther King and others in the march through Selma, trying to get to, was it Montgomery or Birmingham? I get mixed up where they started and where they ended up. And was beaten severely, very severely. So anyway, he died in the past week or two. And one of the things I heard him say in an interview, just in passing, was he quoted the song that many of us know, "We shall not be moved, like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved." So I hope we'll sing a little bit of that tonight in honor of him. And how people put their bodies on the line. But that's one of the things we can do with these vulnerable, sensitive bodies, is we can put them in places where they matter. And we can risk, if it's appropriate, we can risk. So the other thing I want to acknowledge is what's going on in Portland, Oregon, where protesters have been putting their bodies out in the streets for something like 54 days since George Floyd was murdered. And as you know, federal agents are now swooping them off the street into unmarked vans. And people who are immigrants who've lived in countries that have had death squads and dictatorships say this is terrifying, because that's exactly what it was like in those countries. People got disappeared and never seen again. So I know there's a lot of fear around this. I know we're very upset and frightened maybe, or just concerned. And so I just want us to take a breath and give thanks for those who put their bodies out there. And there's one woman in particular, you may have seen the video, a young woman who went out into the street completely nude and stood in front of the line of police across the street from all these police, and just stood there in her naked, vulnerable self, and kind of made her body, her vulnerable body, I don't want to say a weapon. I can't think what the right word is. It's not weapon, but it's something, a tool for change. And I just want to lift up honoring the vulnerability that we have available to us, and that it is an enormous part of our strength. So in praise of these vulnerable bodies. So let's just sing a little bit of We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. And if you have a candle, please do light it in honor of John Lewis, in honor of not only the protesters in Portland, but those who will be rising up in other cities if federal agents come. We can be sure of that. Also in honor of the mayors and governors who are saying, no, thank you. We are taking you to court. These are our heroes. On the bridge at Selma, we shall not be moved. On the bridge to Selma, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. On the streets of Portland, on the streets of Portland, we shall not be moved. On the streets of Portland, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be silenced. We shall not be silenced. We shall not be moved. We shall not be silenced. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. And my friend Sally Golden, this is her favorite verse. I forget it. What is it? Oh yeah. We can make a difference. We shall not be moved. We can make a difference. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Now these hands are good for lots of things, and one of them is we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. God for those songs. So, somewhere, oh yeah, somewhere I printed out a little bit of Eve Ensler's article on touch. If you got the invitation to this evening, you saw I had a little quote from it, and I will, of course, send you the entire article. But I think reading this was probably what made me think of doing this tonight, doing this theme. So I'm going to read you just a little bit of it here and there. I'm kind of jumping around. Eve Ensler, by the way, is the woman who wrote the Vagina Monologues, a groundbreaking play about women's bodies. She started V-Day, which is an annual global event on Valentine's Day, celebrating women's power and strength and the necessity of women feeling safe in their homes, on the streets, in this world. She's a brilliant and a very powerful feminist. So she says, touch is essential to our well-being from the time we are babies. It's how we transmit meaning, care, love, and community. Our sudden loss of it has been agonizing. I am afraid of what I will become without touch. Already the frayed edges are beginning to show. Touch makes your brain grow, and we know that those seriously deprived become aggressive and develop behavioral problems. Touch is how we become part of the human community. Part of the agony of this crisis is that even in death, we are denied the possibility of touching the body. After a day of wanting to reach through the screen, the void, the isolation, to feel a heart beating, take someone's hand, breathe with another's breath, I can feel myself beginning to disappear. The virus will not kill my yearning to touch you, and my act of resistance is simple. I will have a healthy respect and fear of the virus. I will maintain physical distancing for now, but I will not be afraid of your body. So in thinking about this evening, I wanted to find like a wonderful song about touch, and there really aren't. I couldn't find any that weren't sappy. You know the one I thought of though? I'm not going to do it, but it's that one that goes, oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch. It's like, oh, that says it all right there. So I just went ahead and wrote one because I couldn't find one that I felt like good. I wanted to sing, and this is called Simple Touch. Got a chorus for you. I don't take for granted the dawning of this day, so I give thanks for every breath and all that comes my way. So much has been taken, so much lost and gone, so I don't take for granted this earth we're spinning on. Sunlight on the maple leaf, coffee in the cup, waking up to your sweet face, most days it's just enough. Those little entertainments we thought were just our due, we're living rich without them in a world that's strange and new. Simple gifts in a troubled time, simple thanks for your hand in mine, simple touch and a loving word don't seem like much, but it can make a world. So that's what I want you to sing with me. Simple gifts in a troubled time. We do it one line at a time. I'll sing it, you sing it back. Simple gifts in a troubled time. Everybody. Simple gifts in a troubled time. Listen. Simple thanks for your hand in mine. Simple thanks for your hand in mine. Simple touch and a loving word. Simple touch and a loving word don't Don't seem like much, but it can make a world. Don't seem like much, but it can make a world. All together. Simple gifts in a troubled time, in a troubled time. Simple thanks for your hand in mine, for your hand in mine. Simple touch, and a loving word, and a loving word. Don't seem like much, but it can make a world. Yes. Now some folks want to go back to the life they had before, on the freeway, in the cafe, cleaning out the store. But I don't want those pleasures back. The cost was just too much. I want a world where everyone can breathe, laugh, and touch. Simple gifts in a troubled time. Simple thanks for your hand in mine. Simple touch, loving, and a loving word. Don't seem like much, but it can make a world. So if you've lost your hope and feel our race is finally run, we can't undo the damage that our foolishness has done. Just take some strength from knowing that the earth is still alive. And deep down in the dark, there's seeds reaching for the light. Simple gifts in a troubled time. Simple thanks for your hand in mine. Simple touch and a loving word. Don't seem like much, but it can make a world. I'm going to change it up and do a different final chorus. Simple gifts in a troubled time. Simple faith that we will turn the tide. Simple bodies yearning just to live. Simple touch, simple love, simple gifts. Simple touch, simple love, simple gifts. Thank you. It's always nice to sing a brand new song for really nice people. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. So someone wrote me an email. She'd found this after years of not knowing me or where I was or anything. And she said, I'd love it if you do some of your old songs, because she knew me back in Massachusetts decades ago. And she named a few. And I think she named this one. And I thought I'd love to do that song. And I hadn't thought of it. And it's perfect for tonight. And because in a minute, let me just look at my time here. Yeah. In a minute, I think we're going to have time tonight to just do a little breakout room thing where you go off into rooms with two other people and share a little bit about a couple ideas that I have of topics. And this song is sort of on topic, having to do with people that we are far from, maybe even people that we are alienated from or separated from, and possibly people who have died, and how they live in our hearts. So this is for all of the people we hold in our hearts that aren't in the room with us today. Another chorus for you that you'll love, really easy. Here it is. The people I've loved live on in my heart. Sometimes I wonder, did we really have to part? Time takes us far from the friendliest shore, but my heart knows the way to your door. So that's going to come around a bunch. You'll just sink right into it. Do it one more time. Oh, the people I've loved live on in my heart. Sometimes I wonder, did we really have to part? Time takes us far from the friendliest shore. But my heart knows the way to your door. It was over, we said, no more trying, no more tears. You went 4,000 miles, and the months turned to years. I've loved since we parted, I have no regret. But young love of mine, don't forget the people I've loved, that the people I've loved live on in my heart. Sometimes I wonder, did we really have to part? Time takes us far from the friendliest shore, but my heart knows the way to your door. Now I've been coming to know more about humankind, how we reach for each other to find peace of mind. Sad disappointment turns bitter inside. We run, we start over, and we hide. But the people I've loved live on in my heart. Sometimes I wonder, did we really have to part? Time takes us far from the friendliest shore, but my heart knows the way to your door. So what do you call love that flows like a tide, slips out of reach, then it's right by your side? Passion and loyalty, anger and trust, does it live on forever? Does it all turn to dust? And what keeps me loving? Is it courage or chance? Am I climbing a mountain or lost in a dance? I don't understand how these threads bind us still. My heart seems to want to be filled with the people I've loved. They live on in my heart. Sing it with me. Sometimes I wonder, did we really have to part? Time takes us far from the friendliest shore, but my heart knows the way to your door. My heart knows the way to your door. Ah, thank you so much, Joanna, for suggesting that song. If you'd like to, if you'd like to share either something about the person that you wish you could touch right now or the object that you brought to touch, just if you feel like it. It's kind of fun to hear your voice in the room for a minute. You can just unmute.
I just want to share this statuette
Mm.
that was in my family from the time I was born. I think it was a wedding present to my parents, and it's a mother and daughter. or mother and child,
Oh,
either a daughter or son.
right. I
Yeah,
see it now.
and
Turn it in your hand a little bit. Just we kind of change the angle so we can see. Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
bring the light over more. Maybe that will
Just
help.
nice to see the two figures and see. Yeah, great. That's
Beautiful.
beautiful, Madge. What? That's a perfect
And
thing to.
it's quite touchable, and usually I don't touch it. So tonight was really nice to give it some love and have it love me back,
Mm,
reminding me both of my mother and my daughter.
right, right. Many
Beautiful.
generations there. Great, Chris.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, Betsy, I thought of my mother, who's been dead 20 years if it's been a day. We had a horrible relationship, although her death was good. You know, I feel good about how she died, but we had no resolution. And just a ton of grief of like, oh, I think if she had lived, and I think in the last 10 years maybe I would have healed enough to
Mhm.
have been able to have a relationship with her, even if she hadn't changed.
Right.
you know just that grief about the permanency of when things end. um so it was deep for me because I know I feel that, but I don't allow myself to viscerally feel it very often. So um yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, it was deep.
I'm curious if others thought of their mom, because that was certainly my thought as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I have actually a song about my mom that I was thinking of singing, so maybe this is my cue. What, maybe one more person who really would love
Uh,
to share?
um, can you hear me?
I can. Yes, Liz. Hi.
Um, well, I was saying in my group, I guess I feel really blessed because, okay, I live in Seattle and my mother still is living in Wisconsin and she's 99 and she's in good health. But with COVID and flying, and I don't know when I'll get back there. I had a conversation with her and I felt really good about it because I just said, Mom, I don't know if I'll ever be able to see again, depending on when can I get back. I mean, she's 99, and she's kind of a tough bird. And she just said, "Oh, Elizabeth," that's what she calls me. She says, "What would we talk about if you came anyway?" She says, "I talk to you every day. That's good enough. Don't worry about it." So I'm just glad that I have a certain closure with my mom. Like, she's okay with what is. So I feel blessed about that.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Thank you. That's wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad you all got a chance to talk together. Well, I think I'll do this little song about my mom. And try to, yeah, just kind of see what happens after that. I wrote this she died in 2015, 14, 15. Golly, I can't even remember, 14. And it was right before I went on my big international trip that I've talked about, where I was gone for 8 months. And leaving her when she was old, she was 91. And, I knew that she might not be here when I came back. But we both felt like it was okay, that we were complete. We had a very special relationship. I'm really blessed with my mom. But the thought of having a world without her was unthinkable to me. And so now I'm living in that world, as so many of us are. So this song has just one little part that you can sing over and over and over. And it's just "Without My Mother." You'll know what to do. I can tie my shoe, I can brush my teeth without my mother. Walk to the corner of 2nd Street without my mother. I can read a book, I can brush my hair, set the table with the silverware, a little bit crooked, she don't care. She's my mother. I can sleep overnight at my best friend's house without my mother. Walk. Sorry, that threw me a little bit. I'm going to start again. I can sleep overnight at my best friend's house without my mother. Get up on stage and take a bow without my mother. I stole money for candy from her purse, but the taste of the guilt got worse and worse. That kind of love is a gift and a curse. I love my mother. What would I do without my mother? Who would I be? How would I feel? Am I still a daughter without my mother? It doesn't feel me, it doesn't feel real without my mother. Well, I went off to boarding school. I left my mother. I got a little wild. I broke some rules. I'll show my mother. But when it all came crashing down and they sent me off to the lost and found, all I really needed was solid ground. I needed my mother. What would I do without my mother? Where would I turn? Where would I go? Can I find my way without my mother? Can I be real? Can I be me without my mother? Well, I knew someday I would have to live without my mother. Thought the sky would fall and the earth would shift without my mother. But she taught me to sing, his eye is on the sparrow, even when the path is dark and narrow. She's in my bones, down to the marrow. So I can cry my tears, I can say my prayers because of my mother. I got eyes that see and a heart that dares because of my mother. And the grown-up son of her little girl wants to be a dad, wants to change the world. That kind of love is a gift and a pearl from my mother. Oh, Lori, look at those beautiful pictures. There's your mom. There she is. Oh, I should have brought a picture of my mom. I didn't think of it. Everybody's going to run and get pictures of their moms now. Oh, gosh. Well, you know what? I think we're going to actually end on time. I cut out a few things because there's always next week. Cynthia, thank you. Look at Cynthia's mom there with little Cynthia. Beautiful. Adele, I see. Okay, Adele, bring it real close. Yeah, there she is. There she is. Oh, it kind of looks like kind of a redhead. Doris and Marcia. Oh, thank you. Wow, this is cool. I never expected we'd do this. This is wonderful. Oh, you never know what's going to happen in these things, you know. So, dear ones, great. Look at that. Actually, you know what? I am going to take an extra couple of minutes because I want to sing something you can sing really easily. or sort of easily. And we've done this before, maybe a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's about our hearts. I think our hearts have had a thorough wringing out and fluffing up and juicing up and watering. So I want to celebrate these hearts. See if you remember this one. May the joy in my heart be a blessing. May the joy in my heart make me strong. May the joy in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing to my world in this time. Okay? You know what? Just dive in. Just dive in. I'll watch my hand. It goes up and your voice goes up. It goes down, your voice goes down. This is choral conducting, Betsy style. Okay. May the joy in my heart be a blessing. May the joy in my heart make me strong. May the joy in my heart make me strong. May the joy in my heart show me where I need to start. May the joy in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing to my world in this time. Again, the love. May the love in my heart be a blessing. May the love in my heart make me strong. May the love in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing to my world in this time. And then remember that the sorrow in our heart is also a blessing. It's the tenderness that makes us a woman take off her clothes in the middle of a street to stop violence. You know, that tender heart. May the sorrow in my heart be a blessing. May the sorrow in my heart make me strong. May the sorrow in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing to my world in this time. And the anger. May the anger in my heart be a blessing. May the anger in my heart make me strong. May the anger in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing in my world in this time. Hope. May the hope in my heart be a blessing. May the hope in my heart make me strong. May the hope in my heart show me where I need to start to be a blessing to my world in this time. To be a blessing to my world in this time. Once again, to be a blessing to my world in this time. Yeah. Oh, it's good to see you all doing that. I know it was kind of stumble bumbly for some of you, but sometimes you just have to jump in, and trust your voice. I kind of like the thing I like about Zoom singing is if you're home alone, you can it's like being in the shower, just let it out. Who cares? Oh, thank you. Nadine just said I'm a blessing. Thank you, Nadine. You're a blessing. You are all such a blessing. Oh, I do these nights for me. You do know that. This is a very selfish act. So, okay, a few closing announcements and a closing song. Donations. This is a donation-based event. You all have been fabulous. I really, really appreciate your donations. It's been so thrilling for me to send a good deal of your beautiful offerings over to Kenya, to the women there that I've told you a lot about. And I'll just show you quick pictures of Esther. Esther is the woman who is the country singer that I have spoken of, and we have given her funds to help her neighbors during COVID because everyone's income is cut off, and there's very little or no government support, and people are literally don't know where their next meal is coming from. And so Esther has been sharing our money with her neighbors. She's paid her rent, her neighbors' rent. She's brought food packages to people who are hungry. She's an extraordinarily generous woman, and the need continues. The need continues. And she's pregnant with her second child. And as you know, many of you know, I'm a doula, and I'm just like dying because I want to get on a plane and go over there and be her doula. And I think you all can agree with me that it is not a good time for a 69-year-old woman to jump on a plane and go to Kenya. So I'm going to do virtual doulaing on Zoom with her. Good Lord. But anyway, so tonight, once again, I'll be so happy to receive donations that we can send on to her and also on to the Baraka Women's Center in Nairobi, who is supporting and helping a young woman I care very, very much about there named Julia, who had a baby while I was visiting there in 2016, and named the baby after me. So I now have a goddaughter and a god granddaughter over in Kenya. And Julia is like so many women in the global South, struggles so much economically, with the ways women can make money in very poor countries are not ways any of us would want to make a living, and she's done many of them. And she's struggling to get out of her addiction and her lack of education. And I care a lot about her. So there's some of our funds will be going to help her get back on her feet as well. So that's it on donations. And again, just thank you so, so much for that. So why don't we just have three people who would like to just say a word of blessing to the group, a thank you, a blessing. If you're moved to say anything, what you're taking from the evening, feel free to just unmute and just really short or not.
Hi. What comes to me is just that I could trust my heart.
Mm.
I was so touched tonight, and I felt so similarly with everyone here somehow, even without speaking. So my heart,
Yeah.
trust my heart.
Thank you, Adele. May we all walk that path with you. Anyone else?
I'm taking away feelings of gratitude, great love, and thankful so much for the connection on Zoom and for your voice and everyone else's voices. It's a lifeline.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad you were here.
Betsy, I hope you get a chance to read the chat. There's been so many nice things of how touching tonight has been, and I think a lot of connection was created as well.
I'm glad. I'm so glad because that really is the essence of this, isn't it? It is connection, and song connects, voices connects, faces, it all connects, and we need it so much. So thank you. I will absolutely read the chat. If you want to save the chat for any reason, you just click on the chat, you go to the bottom on the right, there's three little dots, you click on the dots and click on save chat, and you got it. Now where it goes is another question. People say if they go to their search thing in their computer and just put in chat, you might find it. So good luck with that. That'll be your little scavenger hunt for this week. All right. Well, my friends, it's been totally.
So Betsy, one thing, you'll send out a link where people can make donations in the follow-up.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it's in your invitation. It'll be in the, yes, absolutely. The link will be there. I'm sorry that I didn't mention that. Don't worry. We never scrimp on making sure you know how to donate. We are very good about that. Anything else I mentioned tonight that you care about, probably I'll send it in the link. All right. So let's take a deep breath. Oh, just settle for a minute and savor once again, maybe closing your eyes if you want. Do that savoring practice we did at the beginning of really letting in and not holding in a grasping way, but just relishing your body, your heart, your voice, every person in this room. Let it go deep into your heart, deep into your belly. This is goodness. This is goodness we are feeling right now. And this goodness, this capacity for connection and love and heart is everywhere in our world. We don't get it in the headlines, we don't get it in the newscast, but this is what our fellow human beings are really like. And in every city in America right now, I just know that there are strong hearts and vulnerable bodies getting ready to stand up and do what they need to do to keep us safe and fair and just as a society. I know you're all part of that, each in your own way. Whatever you are doing, it is valuable. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. With all our hearts united, with all our hearts united, we shall not be moved. With all our hearts united, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved till there's justice everywhere. Till there's justice everywhere, we shall not be moved. Till there's justice everywhere, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. On our way to victory, on our way to victory, we shall not be moved. That's right. On our way to victory, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not. We shall not. We shall not be moved. We shall not. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. Unmute yourself so we can all make noise together. I forgot. Last big thing. Clap, cheer, whatever. Make